Last week, I worked on the classic Loki figure, and I gotta say, this figure is a hidden gem. They captured the likeness very well, and this figure looks quite high-end. Once you tone down the highlighter hue, that is. It was a relatively easy fix, but it also took a bit longer than I thought. Check that video out if you're interested. I didn't expect to like this figure this much. This figure deserves to be displayed properly. So let's see. Classic Loki doesn't fit in the Citadel. He sticks out like a sore thumb. The Citadel display is perfect the way it is with Loki, Sylvie, and He Who Remains. Okay, let's try another Loki display. This is my previous Loki variants display for Loki and Sylvie, but they have to save the sacred timeline now, so there's this empty space on the Mentis 1. This doesn't work either. Poor classic Loki. I guess I have to send him to the void. Journey into mystery. Okay, hear me out. The definitive display for classic Loki is obviously Alioth with the illusion of Asgard. I can totally picture it in my head. It will make an epic display. But I'm not gonna make that yet. The main reason why I'm saving that for the future is because if I do make the Alioth display, I will have to swap one of these out. And due to limited space, I feel like it's unfair to swap in the display that only features one figure. But if they release Kid Loki and Alligator Loki, that's a different story. I would make that in a heartbeat featuring those three. I can even include Sylvie and Loki there too. So what am I making today? I'm gonna recreate the very colorful, memorable, underground Loki base featured in the episode Journey into Mystery. Hello, this is Ken. I like making things. I like making things out of paper, and I like making things cooler. Especially my figures. Sometimes figures don't look all that screen accurate. All they need is a bit of touch-up here and there to unleash their hidden potential. I also love using everyday tools and materials to recreate iconic scenes from my figures, so they can shine on my display. Subscribe to my channel and join my DIY adventure as I ask myself the same question every week. Can I make it? A few weeks back, I made Tony's workshop. My original intention was to make a mini display for Iron Man 1, but I quickly realized that the mini display is perfect for Pepper or Obadiah Stane, two figures that I was never gonna make displays for. Classic Loki's another one of those figures that I really like, but I can't justify having him take up an entire shelf space all by himself. So this smaller scale display would be perfect for now. The underground Loki base is a modified bowling alley. There are various rugs on the floor, and the overall color scheme is very vibrant and colorful. The key elements after nail are the diamond shapes on the wall, and the slanted L. Ah, that looks pretty good. Let's build. What I love about these mini displays is that these displays don't take up as much space, so they're perfect for featuring side characters. And with their more simplified and streamlined designs, I can put them together to create a collage of displays, or I can stack them and store them away if I need more room. Anyway, I think this has potential to become a series. Alright, the base is done, but it needs more. For displays that are just a floor and a wall, they can often look fake. Actually, disjointed is a better word for it. I think part of it is the rectangular boxy feel it gives off. It makes everything look much more small-scaled and contained. One way to remedy that is to add an element that is interactive, or at least feels interactive, so the figures don't look like they're just standing in front of a flat backdrop. This element doesn't need to be anything substantial. It can be a piece of rock or debris, or just some random thing that the figure is touching. In this case, it's gonna be Kid Loki's throne. Too bad classic Loki won't be able to sit on it due to his cape. But for those photographers out there, you know how fun a chair can be as a prop when it comes to posing. Okay, this chair is a bit more challenging to fold than I anticipated. There's so many small tabs and curves, even though I've already simplified the shapes as much as possible. I gotta be patient and work on a few tabs at a time, making sure the glue is fully dry before I move on to the next tabs. This is a good exercise to test my patience. Okay, my patience was tested. It took me roughly 2 days to build this chair. It's mostly just working on one section at a time and waiting for the glue to dry. I should revise the model a bit so it's a bit easier to fold. But here it is. Look at that, it actually turned out pretty good. The seat goes so well with the base. It looks pretty convincing as a throne chair. Let's bring classic Loki back in. It's almost there. Since classic Loki can't sit on the chair, I need a few more elements for him to interact with. That is why I made this little platform with 2 steps. Not only would this elevate the chair up to classic Loki's height, but the steps also provide classic Loki something to pose with. This also helps break up that corner where the wall meets the floor, making this display looks less boxy. Okay, getting close. Let me add a few more small details. I need something neutral that blends into the set, like a small table. And I need something on the table. Boastful Loki's hammer is the perfect object for it. I hope to release the entire cast of Loki variants, as all of them would fit this display perfectly. Let's put everything together. Ooh, now this set looks complete. I think I captured the vibe of the Loki base quite well. The addition of the table and the hammer complements the bold colors nicely. Everything works together as a whole. And best of all, this looks great with or without any figures on it. But I did make this for classic Loki, so let's bring him in. Ooh, yeah. Classic Loki fits right in. And I love that I can move the individual elements around to alter what I want to portray in the display. I can take out the table and the hammer to make it more about the throne. Or I can spread everything out and make it more chill and relaxed. This looks like a cozy living room now. What do you think? Do you like my classic Loki display? I love it. The set fits the jester vibe classic Loki has going on, and the color complements each other so well. Now I'm curious. Let me bring in Loki. Look at that. That's Loki's throne. Now imagine this being President Loki. It would look amazing. That said, this display can fit multiple figures. I can totally see Kid Loki, Boastful Loki, and President Loki in this display. Hurry, Hasbro! Release those Loki variants figures so I can display them. And then I can also start my Alliance display. All in all, this turned out way cooler than I thought. The original idea was to make a temporary display for classic Loki. But I don't know. This may end up being the permanent display for classic Loki. Alright, let's end this for the photoshoot. This set is just so versatile. Like I can rearrange the objects however I want and the display still looks good. The throne chair is such a nice prop. It adds so much context to the scene but it doesn't take the attention away from the figure. And after a while you don't notice the harsh angles anymore. Although classic Loki can't sit on it, but he can still interact with the throne in various ways. Like I said in last week's video, this classic Loki figure is very fun to pose. He poses like a real person, very natural and doesn't have that awkward toy stiffness to him, despite the cape being in the way all the time. Speaking of cape, I'm glad I have a Loki that doesn't have a cape. Even though this Loki is arguably the worst Loki figure out there, but he just looks so good on that chair. I kinda wanna put him here instead of the Citadel. Anyway, let me know if I should continue this mini display series. I love that I get to feature some of the side characters this way. What other mini displays should I make? Let me know down below. And thank you for watching today's video. Give it a like and subscribe to see more content like this. And as always, stay inspired and I'll see you next week. I can make it, so can you.